Chelsea, and I'll also give my prediction to what I think the score will be at the weekend. So, 11. Good evening, everyone. So we are roughly, I don't know, 40 odd minutes away from kickoff. The starting 11 is out. As you can see, I'm sat in the car. Sold my car earlier on this morning, and I've been out car shopping, and that is why I'm sat here in the car right now. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to get anything as of yet. So we'll carry on car shopping. But like I said, the starting 11 is out. One change made from the Chelsea game. Aubameyang up front instead of Lacazette. A little bit shocked with that. You know, watching the game back, I think Lacazette did a decent job holding the ball up and bringing other players into play against Chelsea. And I'm surprised he's not starting, especially since as you know he scored in the last two games. I mean, what does that do for the guy's confidence, really? You know, leave him on the bench. I suppose, you know, Aubameyang is the man for Arsenal, the main man for Arsenal. Normally, we need to get this guy scoring again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get him in the game and get him a couple of goals. I'm expecting 3 points, no less than 3 points. But besides, you know, the obvious, I am quite pleased with the starting lineup. Ideally, I wouldn't have Hector Bellerin in there. I wouldn't have Granit Xhaka in there. But with that being said, they did have a decent game against Chelsea. So I suppose you have got to give them the opportunity once again. I don't know who's captain. I'm assuming it will be Bellerin again. Let's see if this team can consistently do what they did against Chelsea now, or if it was a one-off game like normal. So, for anybody who doesn't know the starting lineup, I'm going to run through it real quick. So we've got Bernd Leno in goal, fully expected there. You know, did all right in the Chelsea game, didn't do too bad. Didn't make any massive mistakes or anything like that. Let's hope he can continue that. Hector Bellerin, captain, I would say. You know, the captain armband at this team seems to just get thrown to anybody. But I suppose you've got to give him credit where credit is due. He was captain in the last game. We won, so I suppose he should really have the armband again. To be honest with you, I didn't think he played that well against Chelsea. He looked very slow, very lethargic. Caught out of position a few times, jogging back. You know, the typical Hector Bellerin performance that we'd normally see from him. I don't think he was that great, but I don't think he was that bad either. Hopefully, he can have a decent performance today. But then again, this is Arsenal. You know, we'll probably like me and Turkish said in the last stream, the typical Arsenal thing to do will be to beat Chelsea and then go and lose to Brighton. But fingers crossed. Centre back pairing. Rob Holding. Thought he did all right in the last game as well. Wasn't spectacular, but wasn't bad either. And at the end of the day, these players haven't performed all season. So, you know, and they tend to perform one game out of 10. So I was fully expecting a decent performance, but I wasn't expecting it to be against Chelsea. So let's see if he can do exactly the same as what he did last week, or at the weekend, should I say. Next to him, Pablo Mari came in. I thought he had a decent game. I like the fact that, you know, he was quite positionally aware in the sense that he knew that if Kovacic had took the ball around him, he'd have been through on goal. So he was like, nah, fuck this, just take the geezer out. That's what I like. He gave away a penalty. Could have ended up being a different story in the end if Chelsea had put that penalty away. But again, you got to remember the guy's just, not long come back from injury. He's not really played very much. And he seems to do a half decent job in there. Left back, Kieran Tierney. For me, he should be captain. He is the leader in this team. Played all right as well. Hopefully we can get a decent performance out of him as well. Midfield, Mohamed Elneny. Probably one of our worst players against Chelsea, actually. He gave the ball away quite a lot. Hopefully he can bring back a bit more of that calming influence in the midfield that we've seen from him in recent times. And, he tried to play the ball forward a lot against Chelsea. And I want to see that again today. None of this sideways, backwards bullshit. And yeah, next to him, we've got Granit Xhaka. Scored a very good free kick against Chelsea. Again, he was another one who was playing the ball forward on the regular. Had a pretty decent performance, but he almost ruined that by the way that he came out with the comments after the game about everybody started talking again after the Burnley game. I like to do my talking on the pitch. You ruined your performance in a way, because us as fans, we sit there and we say, well, you have no rights to be saying stuff like that. You've been shit for years. You've let managers down for years. So if you want to come out and you want to say something like that, fair enough. But let's see it. Let's see them sort of performances on a consistent basis now. Yeah? None of this bullshit that you've been putting in recent years that's not good enough. So again, I think he deserves to start because of the performance against Chelsea. But like I said, we want to see that again today. Not let's put a 10 out of 10 performance in against Chelsea and then put a 2 out of 10 performance in against Brighton, because that just will not be good enough. So Granit Xhaka. Front three, Martinelli. Love this guy. He is probably, in my opinion, arguably our best player in the 25-man squad. He's only just come back from injury as well. But you can see the difference in him compared to the other players. He shows a lot of heart. He shows a lot of fight. He doesn't give up. Even when he's tired, he's pressing players into mistakes. He's trying to force stuff to happen. And that was the difference for me against Chelsea. He sort of set the tone. And hopefully he can do that again today. He's one player in our squad that, tends to perform quite consistently. So hopefully he can bring a bit of that again today. On the right-hand side, wherever he is, where are you? Come on. Bukayo Saka, again, brilliant against Chelsea. He has been arguably our best player throughout the entire season. Consistent performances. Even when we've been losing, he's probably been our best player on the pitch. Very, very talented young man. And hopefully he can continue that. Hopefully, we can keep him at the club for a long time. And that's about it, really. I just want to see it again today. But we'll see. And then up front, the shock of the day. Well, I say the shock of the day. It's not really. But Aubameyang, back from injury. He was having a terrible time of it this season. I think he scored 2 goals, one from open play, in the Premier League. And for a man of his talent and, an elite level striker like him, that sort of tally is not good enough, especially at this stage of the season. Hopefully we can get him back on the score sheets. Hopefully we'll see an Aubameyang with a point to prove, because in recent weeks before he was injured, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. He didn't look like, he didn't look like Aubameyang. He looked like we swapped him with somebody else. So Aubameyang up the front. Like I said, I am a little bit shocked to see that Lacazette's not starting because his performance, was half decent. He got another goal. He's our top goal scorer now, funnily enough. And it seems like no matter what this guy does, the very next week he's benched, and that can't do his confidence any good. So I do feel for the guy, but at the same time, I can understand why Aubameyang's back in the team as well. He's another player low on confidence. He's another player that we need to start scoring goals consistently. So I got a comment here from Lyric. Lineup is decent, bit harsh on Lacazette. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, mate. But what do you expect? I still stand by my comments. Yeah, I still don't think this manager's good enough. I still think he's made far too many errors this year that has cost us. I do think he is a massive part to blame as to why we're in 15th place. But he has the chance to rectify all of that now. We've got quite a, I don't want to say easy, but, a decent run of fixtures in the next couple of weeks or so. We got Brighton today, obviously. Well, we are hopefully, we should be expecting 3 points from all these games, especially a club of our size and the position that we are in. We need to be winning these games to get ourselves out of the rot that we've got ourselves in and the trouble we've got ourselves in. 3 points today could take us to, I think it's 12th or 11th or 12th. But it's not anything significant because we have still got Newcastle, who would be behind us if we won today, but they would have 2 games in hand over us. I think Leeds would have 1 game in hand over us, and we'd be on same amount of points as them. So it's not really going to be anything significant, but hopefully it could push us on to, get the confidence back in the team, and hopefully we can push on and start winning a few more matches. Last comment here from Lyric again says, even though he sticked with the lineup to prove himself, this is his last chance. Listen, I 100% agree with you on that one. For me, for Arteta to prove himself to me, and for me to change my mind, he needs to do the impossible, which is get us in the top 4 or win the Europa League. And I can't see it happening at all. But again, like I said, he's made too many mistakes this year for me. And, I ain't going to change my mind. I'm not going to change my mind. Once I've turned Arteta out, I'm Arteta out, and that is it. So, but anyway, come on, Arsenal. Let's get them 3 points today. And let's start putting a consistent winning run together. It's only Brighton. I'm probably going to make myself look like an idiot by saying that, but it is only Brighton. We should be winning this game 100%. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you for a match reaction at full time.